行くぞはっジェノサイカッタ
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to do a bit of a follow-up video to the last video that I did talking about game improvements, and something that was mentioned in the comments was Epic Quest clear tickets. Now, I think this is a terrific idea because we have to come in here. So if we go all the way to this first episode here, episode 1, I'm just going to use this as an example. Click on episode mission, and then you click on daily, right? You want to get these tickets twice, right? You have to want to face Vice twice in order to get this ticket. Now, why do you want those tickets? Well, you want those tickets so you can come all the way at the end and queue up these little memory shards. Now, why would you want these memory shards? Well, you want these memory shards because Shizu is actually a blue defensive character. You can actually use him in Reviving Hell's Dungeon. Orochi is a green balance fighter who you can actually use in Reviving Hell's Dungeon. Both of these characters can be used past tier 40. You can get PGs for them from the Epic Quest. You can get the character, you can get a memory for them. And it is a long grind, but you get memories for them. Well, the thing in Epic Quest is you can't, I don't know why I skipped that, but you can't just play it. You got to have those tickets. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay rubies, which I would never, ever tell you guys. And, you know, say you're someone like me and you have tons and tons of tickets. You know, I have over 1,000 skip tickets. I know a lot of you don't have that. Maybe some of you have a lot less, obviously, especially if you're a newer player. But those of us that do have the tickets, we would like to be able to use them. Honestly, we'd love to use them here. Quickly run through this game mode to save us time so we don't have to play as much. Again, just like in the last video that I mentioned about the amount of time that we play in the game, farming for everything. It is nice whenever we can cut down that time, and it really sucks that you have to manually play all of the Epic Quests over and over and over. And like I said, the Epic Quest is important because of the memory shards that we need. You want those memory shards. You can see I've already collected a memory for Shizu. I'm slowly farming him. You can see I got shards for all these characters. Yeah, Shiro, he's kind of a different story because he's a green attack, but Orochi and Shizu are very important to go past tier 40 in Reviving Hell's Dungeon. You need a blue defensive team and you need a green balanced team. So they're very good for this. So it really would be nice if we could cut down our time by using clear tickets in the Epic Quest. That would be freaking dope. Another thing that would be really nice is if we got rewards in Championship. Now I know this is kind of one of those things where it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation, since some people just can't play this game mode. And this is kind of where I have conflicting thoughts. The people that can play this, they can really benefit from having better rewards in the exchange shop, which honestly I think would be freaking awesome. Really, I should be buying this every single day to gather up that AP. The rewards in the shop just aren't that good. I mean, yeah, you can get a core, but I mean, you get one a day. You can get AG here. I mean, it's just not that good. And I would really love to have better rewards. The caveat to this is the players that can't play this game mode, and they might have a great device, they might have good internet, but they still can't connect, they wouldn't be able to benefit from the rewards. This is really one of the reasons I didn't talk about this in the last video, although for the people that can play it, if better rewards were in here, it would make playing Championship more worthwhile. And there are players that don't play Championship because rewards suck, right? There's players that can play it. They do have a decent enough connection that they can play it, but they don't because the rewards suck. So part of me thinks there should be better rewards in here so more players would want to play Championship. They would feel it's more relevant. Ever since they took the rubies away, it's really discouraged people from wanting to play it. And I would like to see people be incentivized to play this game mode because it is a fun game mode. Even though the Leah set has really changed everything, which leads me into the next subject, the Leah set. Let's take a look at this damn set. This set really does cause a lot of controversy in the community. I did not mean to do that. In the community. Because of this crazy effect that it has. You know, you get the 21% extra attack from having all 3 cards. You get the 13% extra attack. That's 34% extra attack. Very nice, right? And then you got the 30% chance to reset cooldowns of active skills upon landing an active skill. And then on top of all that, it has reflect 10% of damage received for 5 seconds when attacked. So even if you have immunity, this bypasses that immunity and can kill you. This is an OP set. And in all reality, in PvE and PvP, it's just insane. You know, people always ask me, what's the best card set to put on a character? What's the best? And I'll not always, but almost always, I will tell you the Leah set because it's such a powerful set. And honestly, it's so damn broken most of the time. And to be fair to a lot of skilled players out there, they're not spamming, even though it might look like they are. But there's other players that just spam. They're really not that skilled and they just spam, right? And that's really part of the lore of this card set, is that people get it, they're not really that good, and this makes them better, I guess, in a way, since they can just spam skills, especially with OP characters like Dylan, Pretty Zero. They can just spam their skills and boom, 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 kill you, build up their PG super fast, get their ultimate skills up, and it's total destruction. Now, what would I like to see? I'd like to see a counter to this damn set. I would like to see a counter. What could they do to counter this? Well, in other games, they have effects of reflect, right? That would be freaking amazing. Think about it. You would punish people that use the Leah set if you had a card set that could reflect the effect of reflex. So when they reflect you, you actually do damage to them and you don't take damage from them. How awesome would that be? And you're probably thinking, well, that would just be just another OP set. Yes, but don't give it the, reprocking your skills. Give it an effect where you gain hyper armor for 3 seconds on a certain amount of cooldown. That way the new card set wouldn't be so OP. And the hyper armor would be really nice because, one, it would keep your skills from getting interrupted. You wouldn't take damage. And a good skilled player, if they're playing with a card set that, say, has a hyper armor proc and reflects the effect of reflect, a good skilled player will know when to block, when to dodge, they'll know when to attack. Because the thing about this set is, whenever players play, whenever you're landing your attacks on a character, you're actually gaining your PG much faster. That's a lot of the reason spamming works, because some people just freak out and they start attacking another player, and then it becomes this war of PG gain. But if you had another card set that actually gained hyper armor, right, and then had the reflective effect, then the people with Leahs, they would think twice about just going in and spamming, right? They still would do it, but they're going to take damage because of it. And the other player, if they have that hyper armor on a proc, they can just guard. The other player with the Leah won't build up their PG as fast, spamming their skills. You're actually a good skilled player with a card set with those kinds of effects can actually counter a Leah set, and it wouldn't be too overpowered, at least not in my opinion. Or you could just create a card set. I mean, we know the Serena set's going to be coming. I don't know what the effects are going to be on it. Or just have cards that just increases your defenses something fierce, or decreases damage received, or decreases PG gain. There's all kind, or removes PG gain, similar to what Kay and Iori can do with their core effects. They can remove PG. Maybe a card set that can actually remove PG gain whenever a player attacks on you. That would be something really cool. There needs to be a counter to this set because honestly, Championship has become quite the spam fest, if you all know what I mean. Those of you that can play it, it's become a massive spam fest, and honestly, it makes the game boring. It takes a lot of the skill out of it, and I really hate that a lot of great players, a lot of skilled players that do use Leah sets, they get knocked on and they get crapped on. They're like, oh, you wouldn't win because you have a Leah. Well, that's not exactly true, because a lot of those players were always in the top 10. And they still are. They were in the top 10 before the Leah sets because of their skill, because of their timing. And this set actually really sheds a bad light on all of that. It takes away from actual skill of players, whether you're looking at it from the perspective of a great player just uses a Leah, so now they're just good because they have a Leah set. When in reality, that's not the truth. And it makes brain dead characters all the more dangerous. I mean, if you're using this set on Dylan, and you just start off with that third skill, you're just going to remove their active skills, go into your skills, build up your PG, get your PG built up, and use your ultimate, and boom. And it's the same with a character like Pretty Zero and other characters. They're just brain dead. They're literally just spamming skills. and it just takes a lot of the fun out of Championship. I would really love to see a counter to this set, to the Leah set, but I don't want it to be too overpowered. I want something that is balanced, and I think a card set that reflects the effect of Reflect would be really dope because it would punish those people that want to use the Leah sets. They can still use it and they can still spam their skills. You're not taking that away. And if you got the Hyper Armor on the new card set, right? You got a 3-second Hyper Armor that activates when you're being attacked. You can just guard. They can't build up their PG as fast from spamming all their skills. But you got to be skilled to use that card set. And I would really like that. Because that way the players that are using Leah sets and they are just spamming their skills. I mean, part of the reason the Leah's in here is to make the game more appealing for newer players. Okay? It's not to cater to skilled players. It's to cater to the newer players, right? That's the whole reason for it. And if we had another set that would reward skilled players, that would be dope. And then the players that use the Leahs, they can still use it. They can still spam their skills. And they're still going to win if they're playing players that aren't that skilled, that don't know how to block, that don't know how to dodge. So I think it's a win-win if you have a situation like that. You don't want another card set that's so OP. It's the card set that everybody's using for everything. And that's almost what the Leah is. Almost. Not 100%, but for the most part, this set really is just OP in all game modes. Even though I think the Akane is still better for most PvE game modes, there are certain situations where the collab sets might be better as well. But really, if you're just using Leahs, you're going to do extremely well. And pretty much the same with PvP. There are situations where I do think the Ryogo might be a little bit better, but not usually. And I do think the Kea is actually better on some characters versus the Leah. It really depends on the character you're playing. So let me know in the comments what your ideas are, how you would counter this Leah set. You know, what kind of procs or what kind of effects would you like to see? And do you agree with my assessment of it and what I would like to see? Do you think that it would be too overpowered to have a card set that procs when you're being attacked? You get a Hyper Armor when you're being attacked. It reflects the effect of Reflect. Let me know if you think that's too overpowered. Personally, I don't. But I'm really curious to know your ideas of what you think would be a good idea to counter that Leah set. Because honestly, I think it would make the game a lot better. You don't want to 100% punish players using the Leah sets because it'll make those sets less relevant. And then people won't want to buy them. They won't want to use them. You know, and a lot of people did spend a lot of rubies getting those Leah sets. So you want a set that's going to come in, it's going to counter it mildly, but it's not going to be ridiculously overpowered. So as always, let me know how you're doing in the game. Let me know what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten, and your ideas for improving the game. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.